North Brewery. I nearly forgot then. And Thornbridge. Yeah, I was reading. It's like partly West Coast, partly East Coast, like a joining in the middle. Interesting. 7.2%. There's the email. It sometimes works, doesn't it? It makes you laugh. Makes me chuckle. I still chuckle why I even get a bloody email. Good evening. Lovely warm day again, although it's a bit wet now, but lovely warm day. Good evening. There are some strange names for beers out there, aren't there? Bonjour, bonjour. Good evening. So my house is absolutely freezing. We're having the little bit of sediment in the bottom of that, I reckon. Oh, right. Good evening. Yeah, my central heating's been took out today. My gas, I've got a new boiler fitted, but they're doing it over 2 days, so it's bloody freezing at the house. Yes, I did. I was on the not the main building, but the other building, cleaning out the guttering. Then all of a sudden, I heard this pipping, so I got down to have a nosy. I could see the co-op van, the lorry going by. Oh, bit hazy. It was clear until I dropped the last bit in. So I don't know if it's bottle can conditioned or something. Not that it means nothing to me. They are mega money. Evening. I'm not getting much on the nose, to be honest. Good evening. You do get a softness. Good evening. You do get a softness with this, but also that twang of bitterness as well. Obviously, the two different styles. I've just had I think that was a West Coast IPA a bit ago. Or West Coast Weary. Yeah, I've just read about it on the internet, trying to see what it is, because even I didn't know. Not that I know that much. Good evening. It takes the middle ground between two ubiquitous IPA styles. Yeah, work, eh? Work's always the thing, isn't it? Definitely a little bit of sediment in there. I don't mind it going hazy though. It looks nice and juicy to me. Yeah. It's one way of looking at it. Very good, thank you. On my side of things, anyway. I love the juiciness, but also the bitterness at the same time. It's, yeah, another collaboration. North Brewing and Thornbridge. Woodford's Nelson. I've got that somewhere, you know. Somewhere. Ah, yes, I've got it in a bottle. Top shelf bottle. Oh, dear. Oh, that is a nice tasting beer. Abbott Reserve. Oh, you can't beat the old Abbott Reserve. Ah, goes down a treat, that does. I've just tagged a couple of people on Instagram. There's Nottingham Camera are doing, I think it's 12 cans in a giveaway. All Nottingham breweries, all good Nottingham breweries. 12 cans. You just got to tag a couple of people and follow a couple of people. So if you go on Nottingham Camera on Instagram, you'll see that. And then you have to just follow what they say. I think you have to follow Nottingham Camera and Brew Cavern. And then, good evening. And then you have to like it and then tag 2 people. But they're always worth a try, aren't they? I mean, it doesn't take long to tag a couple of people. You just look at your friends list and just tag a load. Yeah. Yeah, the more, you know, I'd rather someone from the community got it than just somebody who won't appreciate the good beer that's out there. Oh, chucking it down again. Been lovely all day, and then it rains as soon as I finish work. Can't fault it, can you? Hey. So not much of a nose on this. Not much at all of a nose. Very, very subtle. Taste-wise, brilliant. Look, there's a juiciness of the East Coast, I presume, and the West Coast, the bitterness. And yeah, it's a real subtle nose. It is. It's going down very easy, and it don't taste like 7.2% either. You know, I'd say about 5.5. Hello. I'd say, yeah, I'd definitely say about 5.5, 6% at most. Good to see these breweries doing collaborations then. Yeah, yeah, with lots of people talking as well, because there's quite a few in these days. You know, it is good until we can all actually get back in a pub, whenever that may be, because no one knows a thing, do they? You know, it's you look at the news. If you look at the newspapers, they all think they know what's going off. Nobody knows until Boris says next week, unless it's leaked a day early, but I doubt it. Brewdog, May the 2nd. It is. It's a lovely, juicy beer. And good evening. Didn't see you slipping. Yeah, lovely, juicy beer. Juicy on one side, bitter as well. And obviously a blend of the styles. Hobgoblin's IPA is all right. And it is a World Beer Award winner. So it's obviously good at something. Oh, the Imperial Stout's excellent. 40 quid is pricey, you know, but for the quality of the beer, it's absolutely amazing. You have to stick to it, you know, what you're told to in the brewing process. But yeah, brilliant beer. Well worth the 40 quid, you know, can't fault it for what it is. We don't want May Bank holiday. Whew, that's a long way away for the pubs. May Bank holiday. My review from the pub. No brewing at the minute. No, I'm not doing anything at the minute. I'm very quiet on the brewing process. Yeah, I won't be at the pub every night. I'm not really a massive pub person. I don't mind the pub, but yeah, not every night. God, I'd never have enough money. Yeah, until they get rid of social distancing, or have it so you can sit outside, you know, if it's warm enough. Yeah, no, sod that. I'd rather be drinking the stuff, not pouring it out for somebody else. Every time you'd hand one over, you'd be like, bastard. Plus, you'd get a fucking massive head. Every pint I poured, I've had a head that big, and about that much, you know, that much beer in it. Yeah. I do as well. I hope the weather's good this year. This would make a great pub. Maybank holiday, it's a long time away. Yeah, my dining room's good for brewing at this time of the year, but the wife does cakes, so I can't brew this time of the year. Artisan Wilco, bless you. The lager, the classic lager, because I think all their range is classed as artisan, isn't it? As far as I remember. Oh, just to sit down and chill out with a beer. 12 degrees tonight. It's actually baking. And I've got my thermals and I've got my work gear on, so I'm in my thermals, so I'm quite warm. And the heater's on. I'll tell you what, if you let that age, it's amazing. Simply ginger beer kit. Oh, they're great. Now, especially if you do a boil of ginger root and add it after the fermentation. Let that ginger sit in there for a few days, gives it a bit of fire. Missed some of them comments, it was going too quick for me. My brewdog in Nottingham's crap, it's one that scuffy hole. Customers going in just as builders. That's fucking hilarious, that is. Pissing in Nottingham as well. Yeah, this would make a great little micro pub. You'd need a toilet, mind you. Good lad. Yeah, the ginger makes it. Simply Ginger Beer kit is the best ginger beer kit on the market, and it's one of the cheapest as well, which staggers you. But yeah, some of them cheap kits are very good kits. I mean, I'd like to do Woodford's head cracker again, because that barley wine was lovely. What I remember drinking of it, because it was strong. It was a tad on the strong side. Yeah. Oh. So at the Newark site, I've just been given the rein to go and do a lot more on the front. Nottingham's Brewdog's crap. It's so scruffy. No, I've not tried the Young's Lager kit, no. If you add the ginger root brew at the end of just after the fermentation, and then leave it for a few days to let it settle in, I reckon that's a good time to do it. Boiled, yeah, that's what I do. You boil the ginger root, and then you pour the whole lot in. Good evening. Is it nice to have a beer in the week? Yeah, life is a killer. No, the St. Peter's kits are brilliant. You know, for 22 quid, they are very good. Honey Porter, I've brewed that. A couple of people have brewed Cream Stout, and I brewed Ruby Red as well. And Honey Porter was exceptional. There was no homebrew. You know, some of the cheaper homebrew kits, you get that homebrew taste to it. You know it's homebrew. Honey Porter, you don't get the homebrew taste to it, so it's really nice. I think the comments have gone again on my end. Oh, no, they haven't. Adding extra, you know, playing around with these kits, especially if you don't mind the chance that you could mess it up. You know, getting some hops and chucking some hops in, you know, 4 days into the kit. It's an interesting way of doing it. Good evening. That's what I want to do with the ginger beer kit. I'm going to brew it short, but I'm also going to add more sugar, champagne yeast, and a boil of ginger root. Oh, it's a shame, isn't it? It's a shame because Marston's, they've got so much debt themselves. It always makes you laugh that a company with debt can go buying other companies. I definitely think there's going to be quite a few breweries disappear amongst all this. Yeah, I definitely do think that's going to happen. Yeah. It makes you wonder how King Goblin got to be so good in some ways. And when you think about that. Honey Porter, stick to the instructions totally, and yeah, amazing. You know, also let it do what it needs to do. Well, that's a good thing, keeping the staff on. You know, because at some stage, all these pubs are going to be back to what they was. And if the furlough scheme keeps it going till then fair play. Isn't the furlough scheme till the end of April anyway? 7.2%. It's juicy and yet got a twang at the same time. Not much nose at all. Yeah, there's a hint of hops and tropical on the nose, but that's about it. And it is hint, you know. I can't stand pancakes. Can't stand them. I have an omelette instead. But I mean, I've had the nine piece KFC for $5.99 tonight. Jobs are good. Yeah, 9 pieces. I've had 6, and I'll have the 3 later. Get the gravy, drink the gravy like it's. I love the gravy. So pissed off when I went to America. And you went on International Drive in Orlando, and you went for a KFC. There's no gravy, there's no chips. You got wedges. So you got the chicken and you got wedges and no gravy. Yeah, I'd rather have an omelette. Frying your pancakes? No, Tom. What a waste of the beer. I find Ware's okay. I mean, that's one of the big homebrew kits out there. Where he is. I had the one earlier, the West Coast Wary, and I thought that was nice. I enjoyed that. Yeah, definitely enjoyed that one. Yeah, I prefer omelette. Now omelette with Stilton cheese. Melt the Stilton cheese a little bit, bang it in with the egg, and make a cracking omelette with a bit more to it. I've never seen American steak when I went in there, or all you can eat jobbies. Got them chipolata sausages and that funny bacon. Oh, that's a lovely twangy beer. It is. It has got both elements in it, a juiciness to it. If that's it, what East Coast is, I mean, I don't know. I'm not that bloody knowledgeable on beers. I know what tastes good and what don't. That's about me. And certainly got a good bitterness to it as well. Very interesting. Might have to have a dark beer next, something different. Now it's warmed up in here, I don't mind having a dark beer. But 1 or 2 to choose from. If I kill the review early, I can do 3 reviews. Nah, that won't be a bad idea. I'll go up the arse pissed. But if you're gonna go for a toffee, I'd go for Bulldog Brews toffee apple cider. That's amazing. But how to add toffee to a kit, that I don't know. But yeah, Bulldog Brews do a fantastic toffee apple cider. It tastes very similar to what Brothers do. I like the Woodfords. I've done Woodford's Head Cracker, and I thought that was a really good kit. It delivered a very strong barley wine. Really nice. I haven't done the Wary. It doesn't really float me boat, the normal Wary. Mm. Yeah. Is that from a kit or the actual beer itself? Um, yeah, I like toffee vodka. I don't like salted caramel. What's the bloody idea of putting salt in everything these days? It just doesn't float my boat at all. Liquid Light. Oh, you know, the one Liquid Light beer that I absolutely love is Interstellar Galactic Rum and Raisin Stout. It is one of theirs, I'm sure it is. 14%. 700 bottles they sold on one night. 4 minutes to sell 700 cans, rather. At £13.50. I bet they wish they'd made about 10,000 because they'd have sold the whole bloody lot. That is probably my favourite. One of my favourite beers of all time. Probably my favourite all time beer festival beer. And hopefully I'll get to taste it again this October. if the beer festival goes ahead, because obviously no one knows 100%, but hopefully. I'll just do a homebrew stout. Wilco's homebrew stout's okay, and then you can add to it. You can play around with it. You know, use it as a core stout, and add a load of coffee to it. Add, you know, there's all sorts you can do. Yeah, Wilco's are always open. Yeah, you can do a click and collect as well, so you can go on the website and pay for it on the website, and then just walk up to the click and collect counter and just grab it there. You know, it's pretty good. Then you at least know you're getting it, rather than walking in then finding out it's out of bloody stock. Yeah, I've done that before with a couple of beer kits from Wilco's. But yeah, their kits are good for playing around with. What did the black treacle add to it then? Obviously, some sort of treacle flavour, obviously. Even I'm interested in that. I did actually see some black treacle the other day, and I thought, it must have been you when you was on about you did a black treacle kit. I said to the wife, I know someone who's added that to an homebrew. Yes, Chopmeister. Yeah, it was pretty decent, actually. Yeah, it turned out to be a nice beer. I wouldn't say it was top class. It's not a £30, you know, but it is okay. Yeah. Wilco's kits are brilliant. You know, playing around with the hope. You know, like Colonel Brewery, they've got their standard, I think it's a pale ale. And what Colonel Brewery do, they do a lot of their beers are pale ales, and they just add different hops. So they keep the same basic, like a Wilco's kit, the same basic kit, and just add different hops to create different flavours. Amazing, really. And obviously for them it's easy because they just brew all that pale ale, and then I think they flavour it in the end with the whatever they're flavouring with. Yeah, I need to get back into home brewing soon. I need to get rid of all this bloody wine I've got. Juice wine as well. I mean, juice wine is so easy to make, and it's good fun. Cherry juice, wow, 4 litres of cherry juice. That'd be good, wouldn't it? See, if I know for sure that the October thing's 100% happening, I'll brew a special beer. I'll get a really good beer kit, brew a decent beer kit. So, you know, a couple of beers beforehand. That's if I don't drink it myself before. Get some evil dog down you. uh, oh. So this pitted then, you could do the same thing with pears, I suppose, couldn't you? Do pears and put the pears in a brandy as well to make a pear brandy, I suppose. Mm. Can't wait till my little trees are producing some fruit then. Might be 3 years down the road, but I can wait 3 years. Yes, I might have to acquire some brandy or make some brandy and do that. Bang a load of cherries in. What does pitting mean then? Because I ain't got a clue what that is. You know, I'm all right with kits and I'm all right with juice wines, but pitted, it's not really a terminology that I know much of. We all learn, don't we, somewhere? Destoning. Oh, God, that's a ball ache of a job, isn't it? Yes, I've done the bulldog. I ballsed up though. I started brewing it down here, and then what happened was it went cold. You know, it was late October. No, I'm not growing prunes. Fuck that. I'm growing plum though. Yeah, which are prunes, dry prunes. I mean, who knew? That's why the whole reason of doing prune juice wine, because I thought, well, it's plum. Oh, jobs are good. Anyway, I brewed it down the shed. Then good evening. And then what happened? It went cold. The fermentation stopped on two of my kits. One was a Chateau Neuf de Pape kit, you know, red wine, and one was a bloody the Bad Cat. Took them up the house, managed to get them going again, but it always had a bit of a slight sugary element to it until it really fermented, and then it really got its balls in, and it turned out to be a good kit in the end. But yeah, keeping your temperature stable and a warmish temperature, doesn't have to be red hot, is key. You know, going from warm to cold back to warm, obviously it can do some harm to the kits. I mean, Bulldog Brews do some bang on kits. Easter Brew from Bulldog, oh, that is chocolate sensation, that is. But it's so potent. One, it gets you drunk, and two, I've had a bottle blow on me in the shed. Come home one day, there's a smell of chocolate everywhere, and I'm thinking, oh, bleeding hell, what's that? Come in one bottle, and these are the plastic bottles, and it just went poof. Yeah, that'd be interesting. I'd like to see that. You ain't got to get the nuts out of the bloody grains, have you? If there's nuts in grains. Not that I know. It was strong, mind you. It was strong. Yeah. Yeah. Stunk of chocolate in here for a while. It's a right job cleaning it up as well. And I tell you what, Bulldog Brews, all their kits come out stronger than what they are. Easter Brew was lovely. Easter Brew was lovely, but yeah, they do so many different beers. Yule Brew is another one that's really nice. I've made it about 4 times, and that's cinnamon and ginger. And oh, it's the spot. I brewed it and gave half of it away to friends. Might have to do that. Brew some beers, and then if I know that people are coming round for the beer festival, brew a load of beers into small bottles to take away and put labels on them for home reviews. I'll tell you what, if you've never been on a brewery tour, it's so bloody interesting to hear how they do things. Not that I can remember all of it because I've slept since then, but Sadler's, when I went to that brewery tour, fantastic. About the malt and the barley and all that. Yes, chocolate stout, beautiful, Easter. Yeah, I think that's the best way. Might get my wife to get me one of them belts for my birthday. Yeah, and stick it on my waist when I'm cold. No, best thing is to take the bottles home afterwards. You don't want to be drinking like 8% before you walk in. Look, now, be a waste of time going down the beer festival. So, looking at the time, we've got a stainless steel sieve in the house. We have. Ah, it's good to see people playing around with homebrew. Such an interesting area, and obviously you get to understand some of the elements what the proper microbreweries do. Are they about 27, 30 quid a set? They're not that expensive, are they? I suppose it depends on how high up you go. I mean, I've seen on these some of these Nottingham craft beers group. Yeah, And they've got these machines, and it's all temperature controlled and that. And I'm thinking, whoa, that's a little bit far for me. I'm all right doing a bit. I mean, I'd like to get a belt on my kit so that I know I'm brewing it and getting it brewed fast, but at the correct temperature. I might do some more of the Brewdog brews this year as well. You've got Fours, something of hammer, Fours hammer or something. And then there's a Raj one. There's a strawberry pale ale, which really hits my spot. As long as it's got enough strawberry, and I don't want something that's subtle. I want something where you can actually taste the blooming strawberry. So definitely getting a bit more bitter towards the end. Started off quite juicy, but towards the end, a bit more bitter. Oh, might have been a lager kit. I think it was. It was a lager kit. Might have been Wilco's as well. And you could taste it was a homebrew kit. Wasn't that great? But when I was watching England play, I had 7 pints in about an hour and a half. So it went down quickly. And I brewed some stuff over the years. I mean, I didn't brew stuff for nearly 10 years. I didn't brew because I was getting it so cheap from Sainsbury's. I didn't need to brew. But with the kits, you really want to be looking for the better taste, looking at the 2-can kits. They are better. I mean, it depends, because you can, even with the cheaper stuff, you can add stuff to it. It's obviously brewing it properly is the main thing. You know, that's the main thing. Not being too eager, making sure that, you know, the sugars have all gone. So you don't want to taste sugary beer. With experience, you get all this. These days, I'm more patient than ever. I think it's because I've got a load of beer on the back wall, so I don't really care how long it takes, and I leave it longer just to make sure that it's done. But you know, if I go in and I don't see it bubbling away them first few days, I rattle the fuck out of it just to make sure that it's give that yeast a bit of a stir up if it hasn't sorted itself out. And I've done that so many times now, and all of a sudden it's kicked back in again. So I better crack on with this review and get the next one in. So yeah, if you've already got a stash, it's not so bad. St. Peter's, yeah, their kits are great. Made by Muntons for St. Peter's. So for me, great tropical taste. Very subtle nose on this. You get a little small whiff of hops and a small whiff of tropical, but the nose is subdued. But the taste, keep getting messages. I've got the head chef at work messaging me on about growing herbs and stuff. All good fun. For me, a lovely combination of juicy beer, but also a bitter beer, and IPA that is, and yeah, very different, very nice though. You know, a good tasting beer. That's all you really need to know. Tropical tasting, good tasting beer. I can't pick all the elements out, but I know it tastes nice. That's really all that matters with beers. I think I'll have a stout next. So for me, really starting to get that 7.2% there. I'm feeling it there. Yeah, I'm back on in 2 minutes. Yeah, I'm just going to quickly kill this video and start the next one on. I don't like to do 2 beers in one review. I like to separate the reviews. Plus, also, you only get 100 characters on YouTube. So you can only, it's bloody hard to get all the writing in 100 characters. Yeah, for me, good 4.4 out of 5. I wouldn't say it's a top 10 beer, but for what it is, I thought it was really okay. Yeah, quite nice. And that 7.2 is really hitting home now. Feeling it now. Plus, it's nice and warm in this beer room as well. So, tap room. So that went down well. Right, kill this. Back in 2 minutes. Thank you all for watching. Thank you for subscribing. And for those who watch this later, if you can, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe and please like. Cheers. Yeah, I'm going to add the rest of the funny ones and then try and find the rest of them, because there's a load where I'm drunk and slurring. Cheers. Oh, my back. That's lifting all that shit today. Oh, I ain't turned it off yet. Off.